In case you had forgotten, it's Pride Month. I don't think you could forget that it's Pride Month because there are rainbows covering just about every single inch of this country of ours. It is inescapable. The corporations, the media, the entertainment, the government, it's all, sports now, it's all covered in the rainbow. Well, what happens if you disagree with the rainbow? I disagree with the rainbow. I'm Catholic, and we oppose the rainbow. We don't think that men can secretly become women. The Christians have a particular view of sexual ethics. Jews, for that matter, do as well. Muslims do as well. Certain agnostic people do as well. They disagree. Not to be cruel, not to say we hate you, you awful people. We just say, look, that's not our view of human nature and sexual ethics and our relationship to our bodies and one to another and to our God. So we disagree with that. But you're not allowed to disagree with that anymore. There were some baseball players who just decided that they weren't going to wear the pride flag on their uniform. They just didn't want to wear the rainbow. They felt that it contradicted their religious belief. And ESPN, this woman at ESPN, Sarah Spain, blew a gasket.
Tampa pitcher Jason Adams to the Tampa Bay Times. Hard decision because ultimately we all said we want them to know that they are welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle that maybe, not that they look down on or anything or differently, it's just that maybe we don't want to encourage we believe in Jesus who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. Sarah Spain, how does that all come off to you?
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic, which is what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
When you say trying to be bigoted,
they're trying to use religious exemptions to affect the opportunities, services, available resources for people who are LGBTQ+.
It's BS, those religious exemptions. You don't have a right to your religious exemption. Wear the rainbow patch. That's where we are. We went from tolerance, hey, come on, it doesn't affect you, just let people be people, let them do what they want to do, to you will wear the patch or we will ostracize you from society. We went from, hey, let people who are a little quirky kind of maybe explore to drag the kids to the drag show. Drag the kids to drag night. That's what they were calling that disgusting event in Dallas. Drag the kids to a gay bar so that they can put dollar bills in the thongs of deviant men dressed up as women in front of a sign that says it isn't going to lick itself. And we got there in about 6 years. It wasn't a very long time. She says, this woman is making the argument that you can't tolerate intolerance. That tolerance means that you've got to wear the patch, and that if you refuse to wear the patch, you're not being tolerant of the rainbow, of LGBT, and so that should not be tolerated. That you are a bigot. It is not bigotry to oppose LGBT, the rainbow. That is not bigotry. Bigotry is the unreasonable attachment to a belief or a cause. Opposing transing the kids is not unreasonable. Transing the kids is unreasonable. The transgender activists, the LGBT radicals, they are the bigoted ones. That woman, Sarah Spain on ESPN, she is a bigoted one. And she is a bigoted one specifically because the beliefs of those baseball players are reasonable beliefs. They are much more reasonable beliefs than the drag the kids to drag night, it isn't going to lick itself perverts. Those are the beliefs held by those people, the beliefs held by Sarah Spain and the Rainbow Gestapo, those are unreasonable. Okay, you will comply, you will wear the patch, put the patch on. That is what's unreasonable. It's not unreasonable to say, hey, men and women are made for one another, and when a man and a woman love each other very much, they come together and they get married and they make baby, and we shouldn't drag baby to the 21 plus gay bars and have them put dollar bills in the G-strings of weirdos. It's a reasonable view to say no to that. But the point that she's making that is really important is there's no such thing as total tolerance. This is actually a central point in my book, which is out yesterday in paperback, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. This book, there it is. Wow, I missed my old bell. It's so good to have that bell back. The book hit #1 as a national bestseller when it came out last year. It sold enough copies that now we've got a paperback coming out. The point of this book was not just to own the libs, though certainly enjoyed owning the libs a fair bit in the book, but also to correct some conservatives here who seem to believe that we can just tolerate everything. They're the sort of people who say, you know, whatever happened to the tolerant left? There is no such thing as total tolerance. Because either a man can become a woman or a man can't become a woman. And those two beliefs are mutually exclusive, and whichever belief a society holds, you're going to have to exclude the other belief, because you can't simultaneously hold contradictory beliefs. That violates the law of non-contradiction. You can't tolerate everything. That's what that woman is saying. If we're going to tolerate LGBT, if we're going to be truly tolerant of transing the kids, then we actually can't tolerate Christianity or Judaism or Islam or normal traditional standards. We can't. We have to pick one. And I, for one, call me a radical, call me crazy. I think the old standards make a whole lot more sense than drag the kids to drag night. I'm glad you liked that clip. Now, smash and click and ring and subscribe, and you will get the notifications for all of our new videos coming out. Also, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show. Leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next time.